I'm actually pretty excited. On some of the podcasts I've been talking on, they've asked me about how I help people or what my path has been when it comes to living your purpose. So the thing that I have been inspired to recognize is that the sequence of the path is basically in 3 big steps. So the first thing is, first I'll describe what this looks like when people are doing what they're supposed to do. They tend to live life from the automatic default pathway. They're unaware of listening to their inner voice, their inner guidance. And when, like, I grew up, my pathway was more about doing what I was supposed to do, doing the expected thing. Whether society says or family says or whatever else, you're just doing the thing, basically. And we've been trained and conditioned in our society. The normal thing is you go to school, you get a job, you make a living, all of that normal stuff. So we go through all of life, and then even some people that I've been interviewing on the podcast, they get to be way successful. They're CEOs, they're, major big companies, and then something in their life, the bottom falls out. There's no fulfillment, their family falls apart, something happens to where they find out, as Stephen Covey says, their ladder was leaning against the wrong building, and that the ladder of success that they were trying to climb didn't end up actually giving them that sense of fulfillment. So what we talk about here in our community is the 6 basic human needs, right? So those 6 basic needs, just as a reminder, and I think I made a picture of this once. This is my bad version of it, written by my hand that I keep here by my desk. So the first need is certainty, control, or safety. The second one is variety and adventure. The third one is love and connection, and that's also acceptance. Fourth one is significance, uniqueness, making a difference, identity, and purpose. Fifth one is growth, and sixth one is contribution. So if you are living totally a fulfilled life, you're 100% pointed toward going toward the sun, as we have the image of the sun in the clouds, going toward the sun of what you desire, creating the life that you want, you're going to be fulfilled because you see your purpose, you know you're making a difference, you feel fulfilled, you know what your gifts are, you know who you are, why you're here, and what you're born to do. The opposite of that was what I experienced when I was depressed as the Momzilla mom, where I felt like I was trapped. I couldn't move forward. I wasn't living my purpose. I didn't feel useful. I didn't feel like I could. I didn't feel like I had the capability to do what I was good at. I didn't know what I was good at. So all of those feelings of being trapped and looking in the clouds, part of it is your mind and where your mind is pointed. And that's what mental fitness is about. Mental fitness is about pointing your mind in the direction you want to go in life. But the undercurrents of what's really happening here is, are you really pointing your heart's desire toward the sun of what will bring you fulfillment? Or is the river taking you downstream and dragging you down by default to do the thing that you think you have to do? This is someone else's definition of success that might not actually bring you joy. So the 3 things that help you to move forward toward finding out what brings you fulfillment and joy is the first thing, looking in. The second one is looking up. The third one is looking out. The reason why looking in is first is because if we looked up first and we looked to God first, higher power, whoever you believe in your higher power, if we looked up first and said, I'll do whatever you want me to do. And by all standard, that's great when it comes to submission. However, I believe the goal for life is co-creation. What you want and what God wants. It's both. And if you don't first look in to find out what you want and you're only doing what He wants, then you're going by some default. You're going by a have to, even if it's the have to of what you think God wants you to do. So first is to look in. This is what I want. And you can look through Holy Writ everywhere. I have noticed several different times in the scriptures reading, there's always an experience of what do you want? And that's always in the beginning of the journey. It happened with Abraham and several different people all the way through. What do you want is the beginning of the journey. So That is looking in. And when you look in deeply, you're going to find out little pieces along the journey to find out who you are, why you're here, and what you're born to do. That's going to be a great big puzzle that's going to last your entire life, right? It's not going to come all at once, just little bits at a time, but it is according to your desire. If you're just floating downstream, okay, life is good, blah, 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 going by some kind of default, you're not going to get the answers that you want. And that's one thing the garden taught me was I needed to decide what I wanted to plant in the soil. I needed to be the one. I want to eat carrots. That means I need to plant carrots. I want to eat peas. Okay, let's plant peas. You're looking toward the harvest of what you want and then deciding, okay, this is what I want. This is why I want it. This is who I am, what will bring me joy. So that's first looking in. The second thing is looking up. And I love in the book, The Dream Giver, the journey that he goes on. Have you guys heard of that? It's right here. The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. So in that story, he goes through the hero's journey where he's leaving home. He fights the fear of leaving what's comfortable. And then eventually he gets to a place called sanctuary where he feels like he isn't worthy to be in the presence of the Dream Giver. So the Dream Giver tells him to step into the light. And then he goes into the light and all the light exposes the darkness that's inside of him. So this is that moment of surrender when we look up to God and we say, I know I'm nothing without you. I can do nothing without you. And then eventually through that co-creation process, we come to learn that with you, I can do anything. And then we learn to believe in our abilities, to find out what we're good at. And then he helps us to use our gifts, and all of those things weave together to form number 3, looking out. So after you look in, here's who I am, why I'm here, what I'm born to do. I looked up to God. What do you want me to do? Then you're ready to look out. I want to serve. I want to give. I want to make a difference in this way. This is why I'm here. Use me as your instrument. I'm showing up. And the opposite of that looks like when you, on your 3 steps, if you first look out to other people, you're looking out to other people for approval. You're looking out to other people for acceptance. And the arrow is turned toward me, turned toward what am I going to get out of this? How are they going to serve me? The opposite is after you've gone to look in, look up, and look out, your arrow is turned out toward them. I'm here to let the light flow through me and out of my heart to other people. I'm here to serve. I want to give. I'm here to show up, to use my gifts to make the world a better place. So that's where you're showing up with your whole heart. You're playing 100% and you're giving everything that you have to, and it's not just you, right? This is you and God co-creating together. This is what you want, what you feel called to do, and you're showing up to give everything. And in that process, you become more and more your future self. And that's who you truly are.